télévision d'Arrêt dans la nuit. Télévision d'Arrêt dans la nuit. Avec l'animateur Jenny Seger. Télévision d'Arrêt dans la nuit. Avec l'animateur Jenny Seger. Télévision d'Arrêt dans la nuit. Télévision d'Arrêt. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue à Télévision Outaouais dans la nuit. Je suis votre animateur. Denis Seguin, puis
Hi everybody, welcome to a special episode of RadioOutaouais.com. I'm your host Norm with Geek Chic Live. This episode is going to be a little different. It's going to be completely in English. I'm going to be interviewing a group that are sitting here to my left from the OVPPI. So I have three people plus a fourth that's hiding in the background there. So let's start here to my left. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Andre Lavictoire and I'm the founder of OVPPI. And my partner next to me is...
I'm Ryan Rissy, co-founder of OVPPI.
And I'm John Moore, tech manager for OVPPI.
So before we go any further, what exactly is the OVPPI?
It stands for Ottawa Valley Paranormal Phenomena Investigations.
Now, see, the interesting thing is I just found out about you guys not too long ago from a coworker of mine who told me, she's like, yeah, I worked with this guy once and he runs this paranormal group here in Ottawa. And I was like completely freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I got to find out about these guys. So I went, I found you on Facebook. I went to your website and all that stuff. And I really found some interesting stuff. So that's why I kind of called you up or sent you a message on Facebook and said, hey, I want to do an interview with you guys and find out what you guys do. And, you know, it makes something interesting and a little different for my radio show and our radio station. So, okay, what exactly does OVPPI do?
We do paranormal investigations either in locations, certain locations, or we'll do home investigations. If a client thinks their house is haunted, then we'll go to her place and we'll do an interview, and then we set up an investigation date, and then we go there and do the investigation.
That's interesting. How exactly did you guys start in this? Or how did OVPPI start?
I started this up in February of 2010, just shortly after my mom died. I was, apparently my daughter Julie was visited by my mom, and my daughter gives me a call on the phone, says, hey, I hate to say this, but your mom has passed away. And I go, no, that's baloney, you know. Next thing you know, a half an hour later, 45 minutes later, I get a call from the hospital saying she passed away.
Wow.
So that got me more involved into paranormal.
So what exactly, like, for yourself, okay, you started this after your mother passed away. What exactly were you trying to figure out? Like, were you trying to find your mom again? Or, like, what exactly did you want to find out?
Not necessarily find my mom again, but just to find out if the proof, you know, is it out there? Is it, once we pass away, do our spirits come back and, remain in the area, or...
Now,
is there such thing as an afterlife?
Now, Ryan, you say that you were a co-founder of the OVPPI. How exactly did you get involved?
Well, I was looking around on the website and to start my own business, and I was doing it for family members only. And then I hopped on OVPPI, and I made an account and showed my equipment, and Andre approached me through that, and he asked if I was interested in joining him. So we had a meeting, and he liked how I was working, and that's how I started joining. I joined in 2011.
That's good. And John, how did you get involved with the OVPPI?
Well, I've been following the paranormal for a long time, and I came across Andre's website as one of the local groups, and after contacting Andre a few times on the Facebook and the forum, he eventually asked me if I was interested in joining them. So one thing led to another, and well, here we are.
But before you got involved with the OVPPI, what exactly were you doing with the paranormal? Were you just working by yourself or other groups?
I'd been researching for about 10, 12 years. I had been starting as Ryan to form my own group, But then when I was approached by Andre and asked to join a group that was already formed, I thought it would be easiest to do that for sure. So,
Oh, that sounds cool. So, explain to me exactly what you would do on an investigation. So, let's say you get a phone call, client calls you up and says, "Hey, my house is haunted. Come check it out." What exactly are the steps that you would do, and what would you do when you get there on location?
Well, normally they would fill out an application on our website for under the request tab, and then they answer a few questions. I would get the message, and I would forward it off to John and Ryan, and then we'll get together. Then we'll contact Ryan would contact the client and set out an appointment date where we actually go and interview the client. And then from that point, then we decide when we'll have the actual investigation date.
Now, when you go when you go and interview the client itself, is it to see, like, to make sure that they're sound of mind or anything like that, or they're not just drunks or
It's for safety for our team.
people that want to joke around or whatnot, pull your chain.
Right.
Yeah.
It's for more, we do this because it's for the safety of our team. We do have expensive equipment, and we don't know who they are and they don't know who we are. So it's nice to introduce them to the team. And also it gives us a better understanding of how to locate the cameras. We planned it ahead of time. And John and myself will... Go ahead, John.
Yeah, usually Ryan and I will go in. We'll go through the location with the homeowner or the client who's called us, and Ryan and I will basically take notes and see where everything's going to be. And while we're doing this, we're taking base pictures, readings, things like that, just what the place looks like in its natural element before we do our investigation.
So you guys are talking about equipment and all that, which is kind of interesting because for those that are listening right now, we are also recording this for video. And as you can see in front of you, when you see the video later on, there's a whole bunch of equipment here on the table, which is kind of interesting. There's some stuff I recognize and some other stuff I'm kind of scratching my head going, what the hell is this stuff? So just run through some of the equipment that's here on the table and show us a little bit what they do or what they're supposed to do.
Well, first you can see like we've got the video cameras. All these cameras are actually IR night vision, except for this one, which is actually a full spectrum camera, which means it sees in all sorts of light spectrums that we don't see with our naked eye. We have various meters for EMF. This is a K2 meter, which is this one here.
What exactly would be EMF?
It's electromagnetic fields.
Okay.
They're measured by gauze readings, and it's a theory that's around in the paranormal community that basically by using the EMF fields we can actually determine if there's paranormal activity or a ghost is in the vicinity. So that's basically what we're looking for with these meters.
Okay.
And there's one meter here. It's a K2 meter. It has 5 different colored lights on it. And basically, there's actually been studies, and some places have gotten results with this using this device as its communication, where you would have the departed actually come towards it, and they can light it up for yes, or leave it or light it up twice for no. And there have been documented cases.
So sort of
where it's
like
been
an
used.
electronic Ouija board.
For lack of a better term, I guess you can say that.
So what else exactly do you have on the table here?
Well, there's also 2 other types of EMF meters. We do have 2 of these are IR thermometers, because another thing that spirits are known to do is they'll use the heat in a room, the heat energy to manifest. So you'll often get a cold spot where a spirit may be standing. So these we use when we're on an investigation. If we feel a cold spot, we'll use our thermometer quickly just to tell this is what the natural room temperature is, and yes, this spot is 10 degrees cooler or something along those lines. This little one here, this is just a light. It's actually it's an infrared light, and all it does is it allows these cameras to have a longer range. So this one allows for a range of up to 25 feet, where the cameras themselves, I believe their range is somewhere around 6 to 10 with their natural light.
Yeah.
So that's just to extend that. This little beast here in the tripod is a laser grid. On cases where there's more visual, such as shadows or people have seen apparitions, we'll actually set that up and you'll see a green grid of dots on the wall. And the theory behind this is if something was to go past that, we'll have a camera watching. It'll cast a shadow, so we'll actually be able to pick up something going through there. And this will be used. We'll actually have a camera positioned watching it the whole time.
Cool.
There is other equipment that we don't have. just to your right, you can see it. We have the cases there for our DVR, which is basically like a security camera system, and that gets set up to watch the entire area. And these just digital recorders, obviously used
recording sound and all that. Yeah, I went on your SoundCloud and I listened to some of the stuff. Now, do you guys edit any of the footage afterwards when you were to get home, or enhance it in any way, anything like that?
The only enhancement that we've ever done is we will amplify some audio just to, if we get something and it seems really faint, I will amplify it slightly just so that people can hear it. But actually editing and changing anything, no, the files are all original.
Okay. Okay, so you get a call, you do your investigation, or your interview with the client. Where do you proceed from there?
Well, we set up a date. We do the investigation. And then after we do the investigation, we do the analysis. We'll come back to headquarters.
So run me through an investigation. What would you do when you set up your equipment and all that? What exactly are you looking for?
We're looking for presence of paranormal presence. Like we'll do an EVP session where we'll ask questions and we'll wait for responses. Then we'll use the meters. There's lots of picture taken. Sometimes we have the clients with us where they could sit back and watch it from the background, not actually take part in the investigation, but watch all the background features. There's sometimes we'll have the client with us, and because sometimes the spirits are drawn to the client, so if that client's around, then she could spark things up. And
yeah, because sometimes they may, like the spirit, whoever that may be, or whatever that may be, I guess could be specifically there for the client itself. So what you're saying is that basically they may not necessarily make any kind of appearances or sound or whatever the case may be because the client's not there.
right.
Gotcha. So after you've done your investigations, you've all gone home, you packed your stuff and all that kind of stuff. What do you do with the data that you collect?
Well, we'll set another date between the investigators for either myself, Ryan, John, Danielle, and who our other investigators. They want to come and help because you figure if we have, say, like 4 cameras set up, and we're doing 2 hours of investigation, you actually have 8 hours videos to watch. And sometimes we have our last investigation. We had how many cameras?
Last one we were running 7.
7, and for
7 cameras.
7 cameras.
Depends on the location.
If you're, a 3-hour investigation, that's 21 hours of
footage
videos
to
you
go
got to
through.
go through, right? So,
Yeah.
and the process is very slow.
So that can take a couple of weeks or whatnot to kind of crunch all the numbers.
We've generally got it down to a 3-week turnaround with the team I've got doing our analysis now. So
So how many people are in your team, like in total, apart from you 4 that are here right now?
We have 11 in total.
11 in total, and they all go on site at all times, or it depends.
When they can make it, like we'll put out a message on Facebook saying, okay, there's an investigation in this date. Who wants to attend, or who can attend? And normally we do have psychics on our team also, and basically what they'll do is they'll go on the investigation and they'll walk around the area, take notes, and then talk with the client afterwards.
See if they can sense anything or of anything that may have happened in the past or what have you. So where do your findings go afterwards? Like, do you just send it off to the client and that's it, or is there like a place where you guys put your information up?
Well, our information will either be posted on Facebook or be posted on our website under the evidence tab, and we also keep a copy of everything we do, all the data, and the client gets a copy of what we.
So out of all the investigations you guys have done, what's the weirdest or spookiest, scariest thing that happened to you guys that may have freaked the living crap out of you?
we've had a few from a bunch of places. On our last investigation, Danielle and I were actually in the basement, and the motion detector went off on us with nobody on the stairs. So that was a bit of a jump.
Yeah.
So what exactly, like, do you know what happened, or it was like a squirrel running by,
There,
or a cat?
well, we had a camera at the top of the stairs going down because we were in the basement, and the motion detector was on the bottom 2 stairs. In the footage, you'll actually see, you can't see you can see it on the stair camera, but not the basement camera, but you can see the opening where the stairs are. So both those cameras, there's nothing there.
Yeah, but
That motion sensor went off 5 times that night. The first 2 times, Andre and Ryan were going downstairs, and the next 2 times were Danielle and I going down the stairs, and we had been sitting down there for about 5 minutes, give or take, and then it just went off again on its own after we asked for whatever spirit was in the location to come down and play with some toys we had set out. So then it went off. So it kept us going quite good right then for a while.
Is there any moments that may have made someone quit for any reason, or anything like that?
that one.
We actually do have one on our website, case file 1305001. One of our investigators, it's a video where we actually see orbs going around him, and at the same time you'll see him reacting as he's touched. We didn't see him again after that night.
We basically spooked the hell out of him.
I think I actually remember seeing that video of the orbs and all that.
Yeah.
So what exactly are those orbs?
They're spirit energy is what the theory behind the orbs is basically.
So what exactly would be a spirit energy?
The spirits basically are trying to manifest,
Okay.
and so their energy as we see it on the camera is in orb form.
Okay.
Although you have to be careful watching for those because a lot of the time they can show up, and a lot of skeptics will tell you, oh, it's dust, it's moisture, it's something in the natural environment. That's why we look for something like with our investigator when he was touched, something like that to back up the orb we see.
And he freaked the living crap out of him, and he just
As we said, we haven't
never
seen
seen him again. Have you guys been in contact with him and say, like, dude, come back, or just
Only long enough for him to say, I'm not coming back.
okay? So where does most of the work take place? Would it be on site? Would it be off site? Like obviously you mentioned that there's 21 hours, like let's say 7 cameras, 21 hours worth of footage and all that. So like, how do you collect all or once the data's collected, how do you go about, splicing footage or whatever the case may be, cutting it up and putting it up online and all that? So where does most of the work take place?
Well, most of it takes place here at the headquarters. John analyzes everything. All of us do, and then after that, once we have a team meeting and we show what we caught, and then I'll make an appointment with the client to show them the footage, and then they'll have a copy for themselves.
Has it ever happened where you guys went in for a case, you did your investigation and all that, and it just proved to be like just total crap?
Yeah.
Quite often. Most of the time we go in there trying to debunk, trying to help them cope with what they're experiencing. But most of the time there's nothing. But you'll get the 3% chance there will be something there.
Yeah, they say the Chateau Laurier here in Ottawa is probably one of the most haunted places in town. You guys know anything about that, or about the legend of it, or anything like that?
Well, the legend is the owner of the Chateau Laurier was, I can remember, they were just finishing building the Chateau Laurier in 1914. The owner of the Chateau Laurier also was the owner of the Grand Funk Railroad. His name is Melville Hayes. He was coming back from Europe with a cargo load full of furniture for his new hotel. Well, he never made it back to the hotel because he went down with the Titanic.
Well, with the ship.
With the ship.
Not the Titanic.
And all the cargo.
With the ship.
So, apparently it's his spirit that's haunting the Chateau Laurier.
Now, would you guys ever want to go in there and maybe, kind of do your investigation either with their help or without their help, like rent a room and just kind of do your thing? Or
My wife was on a convention there a few years ago, or was it last year?
Last year, yeah.
Last year she had a convention to attend, and she was lucky enough to have a room in the Chateau Laurier for 5 nights.
Nice.
So she asked me, would you like to spend a night at the Chateau Laurier? I was on my days off, and I go, oh, hell yeah. So sure enough, I brought my equipment, and I asked the person at the counter, where's the most haunted, and they told me basically the 5th floor. We were on the 3rd, so I went up with my cameras and started taking pictures of the 5th floor. And yeah, you could see orbs, like bright orbs, not the dull ones, but very bright. And apparently up on top of the Chateau Laurier, they used to have an old CBC radio station, and apparently that's haunted also. But there's no way you can get up there. Like, it's blocked off. They don't let you up there for some reason.
What about the old prison that we used to have here, where they had all the hangings and all that? You guys ever get a chance to go there, or would you be interested in going there?
We would be interested in going there, but
going
it's
there.
been done so many times by
Yeah.
so many other groups, and I don't know if we want to get into doing something that's already been done.
Gotcha. You guys want to go and figure out this stuff or discover new stuff that's out there?
Yeah.
Although if they contacted us, we would definitely
we
be
would
open
definitely
to that.
go. Same with the apparently the Bytown Museum.
Yeah, Bytown
That's
Museum is one
haunted
there.
also.
Right now, the biggest one for us is we'd love to get into the newly open to the public Kingston Penitentiary.
Yeah, that's
So
right. That's just opened up to the public.
So if anyone out there is listening and knows somebody at the Kingston Penitentiary who's available, we're
Wink,
we're
wink,
looking.
nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
So, what exactly? Okay, I'm just reading my notes here. Okay, so exactly, what are your different interests in the paranormal world? Like, what are you most interested in discovering or finding out about the paranormal?
I'm I'm interested in finding to see if there is proof. Is there an afterlife? Is there, once we die, do we go somewhere else?
What about yourself?
I'm also wondering what's life after death as well. But I'm also in this to ease people's minds. People that's having a hard time at their house, saying that they're hearing things. I like to. My main goal is to go in there and try to help them the best I can do. So.
And yourself, John?
For me, I grew up in a funeral home. I've seen apparitions hundreds of times, and for me, I just want to get documented proof that we can show the world, so that people don't just say, there's nothing there. It's all in your head.
Now, let's say if it's not in your head, would you guys ever be concerned about reaching out to an evil spirit, demons, anything like that? And if so, what would you do in that case?
I've had an experience. It was my second case with OVPPI. I can't enclose where it is, but I had an evil entity follow me home. I couldn't get rid of it. I tried the smudging. I've tried a few things.
What exactly is smudging?
Smudging, it's a native tradition. It's sage. All around your house, you have to open your windows, and apparently they say that the spirits don't like the sage that's burning, so you smudge your house and you walk around and you say your prayers and you tell them to please leave your home. That didn't work, so I contacted a psychic, a local psychic, and she walked me through it, and she was at home, and I was over the phone, and she had her psychic guide take care of it, and I had the peaceful sleep that I've ever had in a while. It was a week's worth of torment.
So, what kind of torments were they doing?
It was
was he or she
basically when I went to sleep, I had a dark entity hovering over me. I could see it. I know it was there. And it was like it was watching you. So it was very hard to sleep knowing somebody was watching you or something.
I'd have difficulty sleeping with someone just kind of staring over me. Also.
Yeah. So it was hard, and I was glad that she got rid of it. And now I take every precaution every time I go into an investigation to ground myself and protect myself.
Now, exactly what's grounding? You say ground yourself. Well, what does that mean?
Basically, you close your eyes. It's basically grounding yourself, pulling yourself together, and rooting yourself to the ground. And I also do sweetgrass, and I put it over myself and say a few prayers before I go in. When I first started with OVPPI, I didn't do that, and I didn't take any precautions, and that's what the entity. That's what happened to me.
Has that ever happened to anybody else in OVPPI? Anything of that sort? Evil demons or demons? Evil
We've
spirits?
done cases where we were with homeowners dealing with demons and such, but I think Ryan's the only one who's ever had one follow him home.
Now, what do you guys do? Like, if there's a demon that just doesn't want to go away, you guys have like a demonologist or anything like that working on the team?
We sometimes have to contact outside sources for those, but we are able to facilitate anyone who needs that.
How are you prepared to deal with it? It's done. Okay, so how exactly can OVPPI be reached?
We can be reached through our website, which is www.ovppi.com. You could also reach us on Facebook. I don't know quite the address on Facebook.
Yeah, if you search Ottawa Valley Paranormal Phenomena Investigations on Facebook, our main page or our group page will come up.
Yeah, if you guys go to ovppi.com, all the information is there for where they store their sound bites, so you can actually hear sound bites, their video. It has access to their YouTube page, access to their forums if you guys want to contact them for any reason, or if you guys are interested in maybe joining the team. Are you guys actually looking for new members or anything like that at this point in time?
We're always accepting anyone who's interested. We're always accepting new applications, and we're always reviewing and looking at who we need and what fit they would be to the team.
So right now, what would be the best help if you were to hire someone right now or take someone on to your team? Because obviously you guys are doing this for not for profit. You're not charging clients or anything like that. What would be the best thing that you guys would need at this point in time?
Somebody who would come in who basically has a bit of experience or at least some background following with the paranormal, knows what they're doing, good command of the English language, obviously, because we do speak a lot, doesn't scare easily.
Maybe someone who has access to a thermal camera would be nice.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Thermal camera.
And a car.
And a car. A car would obviously help.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's about all the information really that I can think about asking at this point in time. I want to thank all of you guys again for doing this for me and for us. I'm sure people are going to get a kick out of this, and maybe we'll meet again soon. So this is Norm from Geek Chic Live on radiotawachant.com with Andre, Ryan, and John of the OVPPI. Thanks again, and have a good day.